It's almost like you've signed up for a life where you don't matter. If you want to continue like this, then just continue sticking around and waiting, and you'll pass that message very clearly. Whether it's subconscious or unconscious, and I say, don't always think that people are deliberately doing these things to you. We pass a message subconsciously to them that this is the way that we'll be treated, and that's what they do. Everybody just settles into their roles, so be careful the role that you're defining for yourself. Sticking around is a downfall, and you don't quite actually understand how sticking around is going to get you the very opposite of what you want. Now let this sink in, the very next things I'm about to say. Let me explain it in clear terms. In your head, first thing that helps you convince yourself to sticking around is the thought that your sticking around shows them that they can rely on you and rely on your love always, so that they understand that you've got their back and will never let them down. But what you may not easily and readily see is that at the same time, what that does is signify clearly to them that they really don't have to worry about you leaving. But even worse is that if they can treat you in this way, like a shabby, filthy rag, and you're still here, happily lapping up their presence in your life, then they can just place you on the back burner and get on with their life, knowing that you're already secure in that spot, and knowing that whenever they're able to spare anything, they'll throw it your way, and you'll be there panting over it like a bone given to a hungry dog. And that's why they can be dismissing of you and feel completely comfortable, because you've already made it clear that nothing they do will make you give up on them. Heck, sometimes they even get you. They squeeze that promise out of you, and you're feeling all cozy and special when you're signing up for it, and now they have you in a grip. You want to honor your word. But let me make an escape route for you right now. You don't have to honor something to someone who isn't honoring you. They can't hold you to standards that they themselves aren't willing to live up to. Have you ever seen a one-sided contract? A one-sided agreement? Let me tell you something. I'm actually a trained lawyer, and in law, we call that null and void. Null and void ab initio. The agreement is null and void ab initio. From the get-go, it's null and void. So throw it in the garbage and walk away from this thing with your dignity. If it helps, remember I told you already, you don't have to slam the door in their face. Because I know that cutting off cold turkey is what scares the bejeebers out of you. So here's what you do. Like I say, just switch the relationship to one where you're not expected to be holding their hand. That's all. That's all there is to it. So you're more like acquaintances. You don't have to throw them away and completely forget about them. No. You can continue to have a relationship with them, but now you've redefined it. It is not one where you are sitting there to be there all in all and to hold everything in place for them while they go around, do whatever they want, and then come back to you whenever it's convenient and then just drop you a few crumbs. And there is even more. The worst part of it is that eventually, if they end up coming around to settle with you, it's only because you're the last resort. And what it means is that they're never comfortable or happy to actually be with you. You are just there because now there is no other option. And so let me just come back to the old faithful who sits here waiting for me. And what it means is that they're now going to come with the energy of doing you a favor, even though you're the one doing them a favor. They know that now you'll be happy. And so it's all back to square one of you'll be jumping through hoops. You'll be made to do things for their convenience. And you don't matter at all, because you were sitting all the time waiting, and now you should be happy that they're back. And you see, this is the same thing that happens even in families. In families, you'll notice that the one who is always there, who is the weakest link, who is always there to please and to make them happy, is the one who they're always going to resort to. If you're the one who is always, even as simple as doing dishes as kids, if that one is the one who is always the least resistant, who's going to do the dishes, who's going to clean up the house when everybody is shirking the responsibilities, they'll always come back to you. If you're the one who is always spending money when people need money in the family, they'll always come back to you. Everyone else who shirks their responsibilities is allowed to walk around freely, but the one who is responsible, who always wants to be there, is always going to be dumped on instead of being appreciated. And even on the day that you refuse to do anything, you see how it plays out. Even in the Bible, remember the prodigal son. He was always there. And so the dad knew that he would always be there. But the errant one is the one that they're looking out for. So it's like you're there looking out for this errand person of yours, and they know that you're always going to be sitting there waiting. And whenever it's convenient for them to deal with you, that's when they're going to deal with you. Everybody else gets the attention. Everybody else gets what they need. Everybody else gets their needs met. You are the last person. So it's almost like you've signed up for a life where you don't matter. If you want to continue like this, then just continue sticking around and waiting, and you'll pass that message very clearly. Whether it's subconscious or unconscious, and I say, don't always think that people are deliberately doing these things to you. We pass a message subconsciously to them that this is the way that we'll be treated, and that's what they do. Everybody just settles into their roles. So be careful the role that you're defining for yourself. Be careful the role that you're portraying, that you're ready to play, because that's the role that's going to be assigned to you, and it's going to be the role that's expected of you. And you dare not complain tomorrow when you try to raise your voice to complain about anything. It's going to be like, why, how dare you? You made us comfortable and you made us expect that you'd always be there to fulfill this role. So this is your role. Play it. Play it. Don't disappoint me now because you set me up for this. You set me up to expect this from you. So be careful. I say that people aren't always using us. It is us who give off the vibe and tell them. That's why you hear it said that you teach people how to treat you. So let's be very mindful. That's why sometimes you find yourself surprised, like, how come they're not appreciating me for everything that I've done? If they really want to sit down and think about it, they probably will appreciate you, but they can't help treating you in the way that you've taught them to treat you. So here is where it is. Let's be mindful and conscious of the way that we present ourselves and the role that we're ready to play. If you want respect, you've got to set yourself up as someone who will be treated with respect. And that's all there is to it. Now smash that like button and tell me in the comments if you haven't experienced this, and that going forward, this will change the way that you position yourself. Got it? Now hit that subscribe button, like this video, give it a thumbs up, leave me in the comments that you've understood what I've said, and going forward, things are going to change. I know you've got it. All right.